as my colleague will explain to you now after. We are 12 partner institutions between universities and research centers. 6 of us are based in Europe and 6 in the southern eastern Mediterranean countries. So Power to Youth was actually conceived to answer to our EU call for a cooperative research project on youth in the southeast Mediterranean. The call came out in 2012, so it was permeated by the political and academic debates after the Arab uprising. So not only we could say that youth has become, I would say since the 90s, an increasing fashionable category both for international organizations and governments, and also a fashionable object of study. But also after the Arab uprising, thinking about youth in the southeastern Mediterranean region, we had 2 dominant themes. On one side, extreme youth marginalization that was formulated as very much in the literature and so on as youth exclusion. So by this, it was meant basically youth unemployment and unsustainable social, political, economic condition of youth in this region, in the southeast Mediterranean region. On the other side, because the uprisings in the Arab world and also in Turkey later on were read as youth-led revolt, there was also the issue of the potential transformative impact of youth activism. So youth as potential actors of change, youth as agent of change. So those 2 broad themes are the object of study of Power to Youth. And as you already heard, we have 6 country case studies: Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt, occupied Palestinian territories, Lebanon, and Turkey. Since the beginning of the project, we started to problematize a number of relevant concepts for our research, starting with youth itself. Youth, of course, is a socially constructed category. The experience of being young changes across different time and different society. So, for instance, we have in the southeast Mediterranean region a discourse, a narrative on youth after independence. Youth as the savior of the nation, and so on and so forth. We have also other ways of portraying youth, which are time and space specific, depending. We could also say that the very category of youth was created with Industrial Revolution in Europe, and is a category for capitalist societies that didn't exist before as such. On the other side, youth is also a diversified category. Different social, we have social divides like gender, class, ethnicity, and so on, that actually diversify youth. So you cannot consider youth as an homogeneous category. And this is also problematic when you consider youth as a political actor, as a homogeneous category, an homogeneous actor. So, of course, youth are divided and diversified between themselves. So this is very problematic when you study youth as agent of change as such. So you need to see different forms of youth agency and different forms of youth activism. And agency could also be conservative, could be contradictory, and so on and so forth. So we try to, let's say, build this very ambitious object of study, youth marginalization and youth potential transformative impact, into a comprehensive approach to our research. we have, as we are 12 partners, the chance of having different expertise involved, so different disciplines. We also consider at the same time different dimensions, so the political, the economic, the cultural dimension, and so on. We decided to take an intersectional approach across our research, so to very much differentiate and to the category of youth, and to see how different axes of power, such as gender, class, citizenship, and so on, actually work together to influence processes and dynamics of youth marginalization, exclusion, or on the contrary, inclusion. We also decided to have a multi-level analysis. So the project is actually divided into 3 different work packages, 3 different parts of the research. So we have a macro level, which was actually carried out at the beginning of the project, in which we studied, on one side, the context of today's societies, I mean the structural part of, also the root causes of youth marginalization today in our case studies, but also how the category of youth is constructed today and how it is made into a governable category by institutions and policies and so on. Then we had a meso level of our research in which we studied different forms of youth activism and their potential impact. And then finally we have a micro level, which is what will be presented today, that includes also a youth survey carried out in the 6 country-based studies, so the quantitative part of our research, and is focused, the micro level, on the individual, young men and women in their family and community at the micro level. My colleague Olga Tirnes from FAFO will actually now present the conference of today, which is, as I said, the micro level part of our research. Power to Youth has different outputs. We have publications, working papers, and so on our website, which is, as you can see, powertoyouth.eu. You can also find all the details about our partners and the researchers involved on the website. We also have policy relevant documents, have or will have at the end of the project, and we are also organizing various events as this one, for example. So thank you very much, and I hope, this day will be a fruitful, I'm sure actually, and stimulating day.
Merci Daniela pour cette introduction. Et j'invite professeur Olga Tirnes